season arrives, medical professionals will be urging those most at risk to get their flu shots.
Yeah, but it wasn't always that easy. Back in the day, many people had no defense against the flu, including during the pandemic of 1918. Laurel Downing Bill, author of the Aunt Phil's Trunk Alaska History Series, joins us back on the couch for some story time with Aunt Phil. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm guessing, unfortunately, even remote Alaska couldn't hide from that pandemic.
Yes, the flu arrived in the United States in 1918 when those troops from World War I came back to America. It was called the Spanish flu only because the Spanish press wrote about it. But it killed about 500,000 Americans, and then worldwide estimates are around 100 million.
Oh, gosh. So how did it spread across in Alaska?
Well, in Alaska, Governor Riggs knew that the pandemic would probably hit our shores, but he did everything in his power to keep it at bay. He asked the officials in Seattle at the steamship companies to make sure that no one boarding those last ships of the season had any symptoms of the flu. But the flu still came. It hit southeast Alaska in October, and then all heck broke loose when the last ship, the SS Victoria, landed in Nome on October 20th of that year. Although the passengers didn't show any symptoms, within days, Alaska Native people were dying. In fact, in an 8-day period, 162 had died.
Oof. So it turns out that having such a welcoming people here in Alaska, in this case, may have been a bad thing.
Yeah, Riggs recognized, that their culture of gathering together and sharing and hospitality might spread the flu. So he urged everyone to stay home and not travel to villages. But the flu still came, and the people in Mountain Village, they are about the only ones that really heeded his advice. They didn't allow anyone into their village or out of their village, and they did not get the flu. But village of York, everyone died. And also in Wales, they lost about 170 of their 310 residents.
Oh my gosh. Well, not to mention dozens more near St. Mary's got sick as well.
Yes. Mail carriers, supply carriers brought the flu on them. And so you had the flu going into Golovin, Solomon, you had Mary's Igloo and Teller. Teller's mission, which later became known as Brevig Mission, was just decimated. 72 of their 80 residents died.
So when does it all end?
1919, this summer, pretty much it was all gone.
Okay.
By that time, though, it had killed many, many people, although only 150 white people died. Close to 2,000 Alaska Natives died. So I'm really happy today that we have medical professionals out there working like mad to try and keep something like this from happening again to us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty good reminder that we've got it pretty good.
Yeah, and it's so ingrained in our history already, just with like the dog sledding, how they had to bring for the influenza.
Yeah, the serum to Nome
there,
and all that, with the diphtheria outbreak. Yep, that's absolutely true.
And so this story, which book can this story be found in? Of the four, and now there's a fifth. Is it in that one?
No, it's in the third. That was 1912 to 1935, because this happened in 1918.
Okay.
And it was called The Big Sickness.
The Big Sickness. And now there is a fifth book in the series. Tell us about it. One more time if you could, because you were telling us about some specific stories.
Oh, yes. Well, number 5 came out. In fact, I picked it up on Thursday from the Freight People. I'm so excited. This is the last book in the series. It'll be the first 25 years of statehood. So you have how Alaskans came together and built a government from absolutely nothing after dozens of federal agencies were taking care of us. And then you have the Great Earthquake of 1964. I found many, many, many firsthand accounts that were recorded 2 weeks after the event, so everything was fresh in their minds, so we didn't have to rely on past memories that might have faded. You have the Great Pipeline, the Alaska Native Land Claims issue that was all involved in this, so when they finally settled the issue, then we could build the pipeline, and how that all happened, and across the most remote place probably in the world, pretty much 800 miles through Alaska. And then unfortunately, number 5 ends in 1984. Well, those last 5 years of the first 25 years of statehood, we had 7 mass murders.
Oh boy. We'll end on that high note as we're running out of time, but we'll be talking pipeline with you next week. Laurel, thank you so much.
Thank you.